a short eulogy for Mr. Pichet Tuntisawee, who was very prominent in the rotomolding industry in Thailand, a very innovative person on both machinery and process. And I'm going to ask Alongkorn to tell us a little bit about Pichet and present a eulogy. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Martin. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Piram for giving me an opportunity to pay tribute to our fellow rotomolding professional whom we have recently lost. It is a very generous gesture from Technobiz to give us this solemn moment to reflect. I must say this is going to be a very difficult speech for me to deliver. I would like to be upfront that I have never given a eulogy before, not to mention doing this on a webinar. I tried to search on YouTube on tips on how to do this and found nothing. I'm sorry?
Can you open your webcam, please?
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. I tried to search on YouTube on tips on how to do this and found nothing. Well, please bear with me for the next 10 minutes. So here we go. You see my presentation?
Yes, can you put in the presentation mode, please?
Okay. Okay, here we go. 1 month ago, when Mr. Piram approached me to give a eulogy to a mutual friend, I ultimately say yes, because this is a friend whom I have known professionally for the past 17 years, someone whom I highly regard. I would like to share with you his life story. It is a way to remember him and give him the recognition and credit he very much deserves. It would also give me some closure because due to COVID, I never really had a chance to say farewell to him for the last time. I would like to share with you the contribution he made to our industry, some of his amazing invention, and most importantly, his admirable characters. Our friend, Mr. Pichet Tuntisawee, passed away peacefully on the 21st of July, 2021. He was one of Thailand's leading rotomolding professionals as a molder, machine maker, and a consultant. Just a brief background about his career of more than 40 years. After receiving a mechanical engineering degree, he joined the Thai Royal Air Force as a ground maintenance crew. Later on, he decided that military career was not for him. He left and worked for a German crane company. One thing led to the other. He and his friend found a company called Paco Access to produce chemical tanks, wastewater treatment, and custom molding products. Not to mention rotational molding machinery from small to big. So these are some of the products that Paco made. Okay, so this is the 6-meter oven that he did when he was with Paco. And after 20 years plus of non-stop work, he decided to quit, sold his business, and went into retirement to travel around the world. But after a couple of years on the road, he decided to come out from retirement and started PRD research, supplying specialty rotomolding equipment and accessory. I guess he loves rotomolding too much. Okay, so let me tell you how I met Mr. Pichet. Actually, the first time I met him was in 2004 at a Rotomolding seminar organized by SCG together with Queen University Belfast. My first impression of him was actually not very good. He had to leave the seminar room almost every 15 minutes to receive phone calls. I must say he probably was the busiest executive in that room. He had a very hands-on management style of his business. A couple months later, he invited SCG to visit his factory to see what we could supply him. As a matter of fact, he was not really our customer. He was actually a big fan of DuPont, or now Nova Chemical from Canada. He started us giving very challenging projects, such as PE foam, polypropylene, metallocene. These are some examples of the work we did together. This is the water turbine that used to be all stainless steel, but it was very heavy and is prone to corrosion. So he made a rotomolded version of this with PE on the outside and PE foam on the inside for stiffness. Another project that we did together was a rotomolded electric golf cart. So all the body, every part were rotational molded. There were 10 pieces, so it was quite a big job, and it was done successfully, and now it's commercial on the market. Through several collaborations, our friendship grew, and I got to know him much better professionally and personally. Mr. Pichet was a very demanding customer, very quality mindset. He always looked for something new and novel to differentiate himself from the market. His design philosophy was to be lighter, stronger, and more durable. No expense spare. That is why Paco products were top-notch under his leadership. He was probably the first customer to use our UV20 tank grade. Through our collaboration projects, he was extremely open to me about his rotomolding tips and techniques. That's why I would consider Mr. Pichet as my second teacher next to Roy Crawford. Mr. Pichet taught me to be bold and not too afraid to challenge the norm. He always tinkered with new technology and tools to come up with new solutions. He always had the latest and most expensive gadget in his workshop. At 60-something years old, he taught himself how to use 3D printers and made his own parts for his invention. As a person, he was very generous with his time and knowledge, someone whom you could always count on for advice. He would even share his knowledge and experience with his competitor because he believed he was far ahead from his competitors. That was the type of self-confidence he had. Not only advice, he also lent us hands and resources when occasion called for. That occasion was rotational molded royal coffin. And this is the part. It was a difficult project, many parts to fit together. And as you could see that it didn't fit perfectly. He came to our rescue when everyone else failed. He was the man behind our success. He built us jigs to put all the parts together and make sure that the parts were done perfectly. So he was really our savior. Pichet, true passion was rotational molding. He said that The process gave him freedom to create a variety of products. He was always proud to show us his new invention and ask us for inputs in terms of materials. His inquisitive mind helped us to come up with new products and solutions. He was instrumental in creating innovative equipment and tools for our R&D effort. For example, I complained to him about the lack of compact rotomolding oven. And then one day he came up with the all-electric rotomolding shuttle oven that has PIAT that just work similar to an industrial size version. He told me that he hoped his mini oven will be used not only at a private company, but in labs at colleges and universities as a teaching tool for the next generation of rotational molding professionals. His passion, dedication, and commitment to work were just incredible. 5 years ago, he was diagnosed with leukemia. But during his painful treatment, he still kept on working, even from a hospital bed. He said, through work, he found reason to live and fight for another day. Pichet was a true fighter to the very end. Just 2 days before his death, he still asked about our project and kept the seriousness of his health discreet. And that's why we never knew that he was really ill. I think because of his military background, it was his style of brave it out. He was a real man. To me, Kun Pichet was not just my customer or supplier, but a teacher, advisor, a mentor, and a friend. So, I hope his life story will be an inspiration to us all to live life to the fullest and make every day count like he did. And to Kun Pichet, to wherever you are, I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for the contribution you have made to our industry. ขอบคุณครับ